Hey everybody, what's up? My name's Locke Vincent from Gaming Alchemy, and I haven't put anything out in a while, but I'm back. I wanted to kick 2017 off with my Game of the Year list from the previous year. So yeah, it was a crazy year in the industry. I played a ton of stuff. I missed a bunch of stuff, and it was really hard narrowing down my Game of the Year list. But I'm really happy with it. I'm really proud of it, and some very different stuff on there. But yeah, without further ado, here's my top 10 games of 2016. Enjoy. All right, so to kick things off, we've got Overwatch. I didn't play as much Overwatch as everyone else, but that didn't stop me from loving it. It's Blizzard doing Blizzard things, taking a genre, and in this case, a class-based shooter, and polish the heck out of it. I love the Saturday morning cartoon treatment. The whole tone of the game is positive. Teamwork is rewarded, and the highlight reel props players up for their efforts instead of, their KDA. It's always embarrassing at the end of those matches of Call of Duty, but the characters are likable, and the writing and the in-game interactions between them bring this world to life. No matter what role you enjoy, there's something for everyone, and you can always contribute to your team. It does a great job of teaching higher level tactics through well-structured UI and design, emphasizing strategy and role selection and the team composition. The support has been phenomenal over the past year, and I'm glad Overwatch will be around for a while because it always feels great to go back to it. It's my lunchtime game. Let It Die. This was a late entry in 2016, and each new property from Grasshopper manufacturer, it excites me. A unique experience is always guaranteed. It blurs the boundaries of game and art. In this, you guide your husk of an avatar through the eternal climb of the tower, and you've got to survive by any means necessary. Taking a life meant keeping my own, with permadeath looming in the back of my mind at all times. It's a roguelike hack and slash, and it's never felt so good or so raw. Let It Die is a huge departure in terms of the creative philosophy, yet it contains that special Suda 51 sauce, and it pumps through the veins of every hater that you beat to a pulp. Firewatch. Campo Santo has made something special here. An audio-driven story backed up by beautiful art direction from Ollie Moss. Firewatch took me to a place I've never been and made me feel as though I was actually walking through a national park. Escaping to the woods, being surrounded by nature, hit very close to home, but the pure isolation was on another level. I was strung along by the interaction between Delilah and Henry, which brought me into their world. I became part of their lives. This was a slow burn thriller. The story's imperfect, but it stuck to its themes of grief and guilt. I respect Firewatch for the characters it created, their quirks, and most importantly, demonstrating that it's okay to feel vulnerable. Hyper Light Drifter. Now, this is one of the tightest experiences all year. The combat is precise, it's difficult but fair, and made me feel like I was mastering it. Dodging, slashing, shooting, and dispatching is complemented by great controls. Everything in this world exists in harmony. A silent world crafted with zero exposition drove me to explore. It's the small details that shine here, the frailty of the main character, the NPC mannerisms, the massive colossi lying dead on the ground. Heart Machine put every ounce of soul into crafting a game which values mechanics as much as world building, and that's why I loved it. Inside. Oh, where do I start? The bleak imagery that Inside is built upon left an impact on me. The simplicity and impeccable animation was effective at creating emotion without saying a word. There's more story told in the 5 hours with Inside than games that have hundreds of lines of dialogue. The art direction is deliberate. Each scene is like a bespoke diorama, one leading you to the next, driving deeper and deeper down that rabbit hole. This is a world with flashes of a future I can imagine. I want to know more. I had frenzied thoughts, and I theory crafted after rolling credits. The dedication from Playdead to distill Inside into the purest experience possible shows that they have matured as a studio. And not many would have the courage to leave so much on the cutting room floor. Yet I feel that Inside is missing absolutely nothing. Titanfall 2. Now, this game does what every developer wants their sequel to do: improve in every way possible without losing the core feeling of the game. Now, Respawn, they've swooned me with fluid locomotion and tight shooting. And awesome mechs go a long way too. A throwaway campaign, I kind of expected that, but it actually had an impact on me as well. The writing, the relationships, and the pacing assembled to make a single-player experience I can recommend even before touching the multiplayer. Iteration goes a long way. The classes, the abilities, and all of the different Titans, they feel well designed and balanced. I could do with I could do without some of the game modes, but the variety is very welcome. When I get into a match and shoot AA grunts, planking damage on Titans, it sure ensures that I get a Titan in a match, so no one's left out. I'm still terrible at shooting people younger and faster than myself, but that didn't stop me from enjoying the best online shooter from this year. The Witness. When I was dropped into this beautiful island with absolutely no direction, peering into the mind of Jonathan Blow, I already knew what I was getting into. The eloquently crafted line puzzles tossed me between the extremes of frustration and revelation. It's the first time I've had to use a physical notebook for a game since Fez, and before that it was Myst. I was in awe of the different environments across the island, theme puzzles in each location. I reveled in their design. Staring at a puzzle for hours had no immediate gratification, but the Tetris effect would kick in as I slept, and I could immediately solve the puzzle the very next day. The tapes that you pick up and the exposition from the voice recordings drove my curiosity, but it was the puzzles that kept me going. The Witness is a living painting, and never have I wanted to discover a world more than this place. Finishing the game only made me want to fall deeper into that rabbit hole of the island and find out what the heck was going on. Doom. Ah yes, Doom. Like everyone, I didn't expect anything from Doom. Then it came and punched me in the face. I grew up with Doom. The likeness to the original games, that was a great idea to get me hooked. The fast combat has a flow that's so right, balancing health, ammo, mobility. Those synced audio hits, the music, the visuals, they all collaborate to make one metal-ass game. The small touches, punching upgrade droids and the bullet impacting on flesh, that goes such a long way for the visual design of Doom. Tearing the jaws off demons is thoroughly satisfying. Somehow id Software managed to integrate lore into the game and have it make sense. Just look at those skull keys. Doom pokes fun at itself, but it isn't dismissive of its past. Simply put, this is an amazing celebration of Doom, and it makes you feel like a badass. Oh, Hitman. Hitman, my Hitman. You are my clockwork sandbox, sitting there like a playground, waiting for the perfect time for me to come break it. Every interaction in Hitman can be ridiculous or calculated, but the real fun, it comes when you begin to create glitches in that matrix. Creativity and murder. Each stage is an enormous playset filled with imaginable detail, comedy, and so many unique methods to dispatch somebody. This makes for so many things to go wrong, and therein lies the beauty of Hitman. The best description I've heard is reverse clue, and I couldn't put it any better. I was a skeptic on the episodic model proposed, but it paid off. and kudos to IO Interactive for their design ethos. Season 1 was full of content. You got escalations, challenges, the elusive targets. There was so much to do, and I look forward to Season 2. For someone who has been following the series since conception, this is the way that Hitman should be played. Darkest Dungeon. Now this game made me feel good about feeling bad. The roguelike dungeon crawler and I have some history. I kickstarted it, and it was my time sink in 2016. The art style, it just does it for me. Everything from the character design to the attack animations, each clever detail I notice. The audio goes without saying, and it's got those guttural sounds, gross creature gurgles. Visceral is allowed to hang here as a description. And that voice acting, that's so good. The sanity meter is a well-implemented, novel mechanic which makes or breaks runs. I cared about my party members, and it cuts deep when they fall. One wrong move, someone snaps, and it sends your run down into a spiral of failure. The Lovecraftian theme, it's the best in class, and pushes the boundaries of madness, both as a theme and mechanic, with the player following suit right after a party wipe. It's the worst feeling, but one of the best games this year. All right, so there you have it. Those are my top 10 games of 2016. Again, what a year, what a list. I was really happy putting that together. So many things that I had to cut, so many things that I missed, but that's what I ended up with. And yeah, you can catch updates on gamingalchemy.com. I'm going to be putting everything there. I totally revamped the site, so I'm excited to share that with everybody. Check that out. You can follow me at Locke Vincent on Twitter, or you can follow at Gaming Alchemy and get updates that way. But head to the site. You can throw any questions or comments my way, and I'll hopefully get to them. Anyways, thank you again so much for watching. My name's Locke Vincent. Be good to each other.